Extend a welcome to all the new students that are going to be joining us this semester for the first time, and thank the students that have been in our program for a while now. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here, and we definitely appreciate that you give us the opportunity to give you a hand as you continue your educational journey. Now, I have a silly question. How were the donuts?
Delicious.
Delicious? Great. They're great. See, I had a problem this morning. I didn't get to eat a donut. And it's not because we ran out or anything. It's just, as you can tell, I have a bit of a fluffy condition. You know, I'm trying to lose weight. So I thought that this week was the right week to get on a diet. Of course, I didn't know we were going to have donuts, or else I would have probably left that for next week. I'm not going to lie, guys. When I walked by that breakfast table this morning, I saw that one donut. You know which one I'm talking about. The one with the chocolate on its face. The sprinkles in its eyes. We had a moment. We made eye contact. And I really thought about just saying, you know what, guys? It doesn't matter. Yes, it doesn't matter. I was justifying it in my head. I tried. I failed. You know, maybe this is the way it was meant to be. But as I stand here at Fluffy Anonymous, I am proud to say that I had the willpower not to eat the donut. You go, boy! Now, by now you're probably wondering, why in the world is this guy talking to us about a diet? And the reason I'm talking to you about my diet is because I wanted you to understand that getting your undergraduate degree is just about as hard as keeping a diet. First of all, you have to be committed. If you're not committed to your goals, you'll never achieve them. You have to think with the end in mind. What do you want to accomplish when it's all said and done? And you have to develop a roadmap. Guys, if you don't have a good roadmap, you'll never get to where you're going. I know we're so used to always having GPS and always relying on those things. But nothing beats knowing where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Now, that's why we're here today, guys. Is that we're hoping that with the presentations that we have for you today, the different workshops, the different speakers, is that we're going to be able to help you establish a roadmap. And for some of you that already have the roadmap, we want to help you refortify that roadmap so that you're on the right path to getting your bachelor's degree. Because at the end of the day, guys, that's what matters. It matters that you get a good education so that you can get a good job and become a successful individual. In addition to that, I hope by the end of the day, you get to know each other a little bit better. You also develop the tools you need to be successful and get to know us, the SSS staff, a little bit better. Know that we are your advocates. Your success is our success. So we want to make sure that we can do anything that is possible to assure that. And speaking of advocates, I want to introduce you to a gentleman that's going to give some opening remarks and a welcome from the Division of Institutional Diversity. That is the great advocate for our program. In fact, I'm going to tell you a little bit of things about him that you may not already know. This individual graduated with his bachelor's and master's degree before going on to another university and pursuing his education. His undergraduate work was at Oklahoma State University. And the reason I tell you this is not to share his resume with you, but I want you to understand how vested of an interest he has in the success of the OSU family. When you alone had OSU as your roadmap to your success, you want to make sure that those individuals that come after you are successful as well. This individual understands students who are the first ones in their families to go to college. He understands individuals that are using Pell Grant monies to fund their education. And he understands students with disability. And when I sit here as a program director and know that we have this kind of support at the level he is, I'm happy to say that our program is successful because of him. Guys, his success and his love and desire for our program and the other programs that share the common goals that we do go beyond his title. He believes in our programs because he, like many of us, come from a similar background. So without further ado, I'd like to invite our Associate Vice President, Dr. Kirksey.
Well, I don't know how to follow that, but good morning. I am Dr. Jason F. Kirksey. I'm the Associate Vice President for Institutional Diversity and the Chief Diversity Officer here at Oklahoma State University. I am a direct report to President Harkis. Many of you have been here before, hear me say that a lot, but I say that so that people understand what the strength and sincerity of our commitment to diversity here at Oklahoma State University looks like. So lots of schools have chief diversity officers, not a lot of schools have chief diversity officers that are direct reports to the president of the institution. We are the only school here in the state that has a chief diversity officer at my level. So just to give you again an idea of what our commitment to diversity looks like here at Oklahoma State. So having told you that, I want to officially welcome all of you here. I'm sure you've been welcomed a lot these first few weeks of school, but on behalf of President Hargis and the institution, as well as the Division of Institutional Diversity, I want to welcome you here this morning. I want to thank you, as Jesus said, for being here this morning, giving up a Saturday morning, an early Saturday morning. I know it's something that isn't always easy to be able to do. And so that is very, very important and says an awful lot about all of you and the commitments that you've made to be successful here at Oklahoma State University. And as Jesus said, our goal is not just to bring you here. You've heard a lot, we'll hear a lot. Those of you that are first-year students, you're part of the largest class in our history here at Oklahoma State. You're part of the largest class at any institution here in the state of Oklahoma. And while that's fantastic, about a quarter of our class of this first-year entering class are diverse, which is higher than we've ever been, so we're more diverse than we've ever been as an institution, which is obviously very, very important. But that's not the end of it. My goal as the Chief Diversity Officer, I know Jesus and Justin and Scott and all the tutors and everyone else involved in the Student Support Services programs, goal is to have those kind of numbers at the back end, that is to graduate. So our goal for you, and I'm certainly your goal for yourself, is to come here and have a successful experience and to graduate. And to get that bachelor's degree, as Jesus said, that bachelor's degree is going to provide you with immeasurable opportunities.
Thank you, Dr. Kirksey, and we do appreciate all the support that you've given us. So we appreciate you, and we know that we can't do what we do without you. And so just briefly, it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker and our facilitator for the day, Mr. Ryan Miller. Before I get to that, though, if you can pull out your blue sheet just briefly. This tells a little bit more about what it means to be part of the TRIO family. And if you could, just for a second, I know several of you have been in TRIO before, so could you raise your hand if you participated in other TRIO programs? Yeah, so we've got several throughout. All of you now are in the TRIO family, and when we say family, we don't take that lightly because our programs are designed to make sure that we are able to stick together so that we can all collectively reach our goals. And in doing that, we can make this country a better place, we can make the world around us a better place, and we can have a positive impact. And that's really what we're all about. So the gentleman that I'm going to introduce here in just a second, he's been doing this for years. He's one of our TRIO family members from Northeastern State University. He's worked on the Tahlequah campus for a while. He's now on the Broken Arrow campus, and he was kind enough to join us. He's had a lot of experience in leadership, and in fact, he's done leadership workshops literally around the world. So if you get a chance kind of in between times, you might pick his brain a little bit because this guy knows what he's talking about. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Ryan Eller.
Thanks, Scott. I wish Scott would travel around and introduce me to everyone that I ever meet for the first time because that was way too generous and kind. Well, I'm glad to be here today too. I've got a few goals today that I want to share with you, and hopefully you guys will buy into them. One is I want to have some fun. You guys okay with that? I want to move around a little bit. You guys okay with that too? Yeah, maybe. Okay, we'll see. We're not going to go run sprints out in the field or anything. I want us to be sure and be done before lunch. Is that okay with everybody? That's a good one. That's my number one. Okay, I'm going to start out, and we'll just see how awake we are this morning. Before we move, we're going to move downstairs. We're going to start out with activities. One thing I want us to do is get to know each other a little bit better. How many people this is their first year on Student Support Services? So we've got a good amount of people, a good mix of everybody. So we're going to do what's called a 1 minute frenzy. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. We're going to, in 1 minute, I want you to meet as many people as you can. But when you do that, we've got I want to shift a little bit. I want us to have a paradigm shift. And what I want us to do is I want to take one of our hands, either one, doesn't really matter, and stick it above your head and kind of look at your finger. Alright? And I want us to start spinning that finger in clockwise direction. So a clockwise direction. Just your finger, your hand, just you can move your arm in a clockwise direction. Alright? And I want you to look at your finger and continue to turn it in that direction. Down about eye level, continue to spin it. And then continue to spin it, and then bring it down to about chest level. And continue to spin it. In what direction is it going? Real quick, the reason we do that, some of you have worked, some didn't, some don't know which way clockwise is. It's okay. The reason we do that is I want to talk about paradigm shift. I want to talk about seeing things a little bit differently than we've always seen them. If you're looking at your finger and you're going clockwise and you bring it down, it's going to be going counterclockwise when you bring it down. And the reason that is because your perception changed, the way you looked at things changed. You're looking at it this way, and you bring it down there and you look at it this way. And one thing about college is that it's an opportunity for us to grow and change, and for our scope, our vision, what we think we know, what our perceived knowledge is. That's an opportunity for us to change. It's an opportunity for us to meet people from different countries, to meet people from different cities, different cultures, different backgrounds, different beliefs, and to grow. And that's what I want us to do today. If you want to become a leader, a great student, someone who's going to be successful in life, you need to continue to change your paradigm and say, I can see it differently. If I see something differently, will that change? For those freshmen in the group, those of you guys who are just kicked off your college career, your first round is going to be your first year of college is going to be much like that first round. Hectic, crazy, a little bit maybe uncomfortable, uncoordinated, a little bit all over the place, fun, you know. Did you do well your first round? Yeah, you certainly did well your first round. As you get a little bit older, you guys now, we have some seniors in the crew. Let's see this. Your senior year is a little bit more organized, you're a little more comfortable, it's more routine, you've got that experience backed up. And I want to encourage you freshmen, thank you, I want to encourage you freshmen to use your resources, use those people that have been there and done that. If you were doing this activity with students next week, and that was their first time doing it, you could give them all sorts of pointers, right? Right, so you seniors, you upperclassmen, help these freshmen out. You've learned the ropes, you've been down the course, you've done a few things. Take them underneath your wings, show them what it takes to be a successful cowboy, what's going to take to graduate from here and go on and get a good degree. And on top of that, that's what Scott Cady and his staff, that's what they do. That's their full-time job. And those of you that are a little bit older realize that's a wonderful resource. And so take advantage of the resources that this university has to offer for you.
Grants, which makes it kind of tough competition because we're only, by law, we can only give away $25,000 grants. So, how we devised a way for people to be able to kind of earn your way to, trying to get your hands on one of these grants is we came up with a point system. And first and foremost, it is a grant-based scholarship, which means it's going to have to look at financial needs first and foremost. And the way that the Department of Education has written it up, only students who are Pell eligible are eligible for the SSS grant too. So there's a few requirements right off the top. However, we've got those 25 grants that we can give away. We got to follow those rules. Then the division kicks in one scholarship that everyone who's not Pell eligible is able to apply for that. So everybody in our program is actually eligible to apply for one or the other. Now the point totals changed a little bit from last year to this year, and so we printed off a copy for everybody so that you can see. We want to reward the more active you are with our program, we feel the better chance you should have of getting one of those 25 grant aids. And so that's the thinking behind it. Here's the points right up front so that you can see how you can increase your chances. Kind of describes a little bit about it, and then it outlines the points below. Everything from attending workshops to doing extra cultural events. A lot of you volunteer way more than 5 hours, so those extra hours are going to give you some extra points. Just different things like that. So look over these points, be familiar with them. If you have questions about how to earn these points, you can either talk to us today or just write it down and chat with Justin and I about it on your next appointment. So right off the top, does anybody have any questions about this?
When does that start?
We will probably release the application early to mid-November. It won't be due till December, and then we make the award in January. So, good question. Any other questions?
All right, guys, how's it going? You guys are flat awake?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, let me just say thank you for coming. I haven't had my chance up here in front of you guys today, so again, thank you. Most of you know me either as the advisor or the tutor guy. So please come by my office if you are finding yourself struggling with a class. Hopefully, we can make the accommodations for you and get you connected to the tutors. We have 7 of them. In fact, I do want to introduce one, probably our newest one in terms of, most of you, how many of you have used our Writing Center email in the past? Okay, a few of you. And some of you remember John, he was also our English tutor. John graduated and moved on to bigger and better things, I guess, as it goes. Jenny, if you would, she's right behind, wave to everybody. She's the new English tutor. She's also going to be the one critiquing your papers. The Writing Center email will be up and running this coming week, so you can go ahead and start sending your papers in. I know 1 or 2 people have already indicated that they are needing some help in revising stuff, and Jenny's going to be the one that she'll shoot the papers over to and she'll critique those. Now, that being said, if you need additional help, kind of the one-on-one tutoring, if you want her to meet with you in person with your papers, bless you, Jenny can do that as well. Just let me know what time it's for you, and we'll try and get you connected. So I hope you take advantage of our tutoring services. I also want to tell you just that we're not able to meet every need, okay? We're starting to refer some of our students to different organizations on campus, such as LASSO, or some of the tutoring over in Seat or Cordell Hall. So whatever you need, what your needs are, come talk to me, and we'll try and work that out. Please, 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 if you cannot make a tutoring appointment, as soon as you know that you are not going to be able to make it, let myself know, or preferably even a tutor. Okay? Do not start accruing what we call no-shows with your tutoring appointments. That becomes a hassle. That really stifles things, and we want to keep that a recurring appointment, weekly appointment throughout the semester. I'd be more than happy to
start
answer
that
any
all
questions.
We're going to talk about who is in this room. So watch this video real quick.
Look me in the eye. It's okay if you're scared. So am I. But we're scared for different reasons. I'm scared of what I won't become. You're scared of what I could become. Look at me. I won't let myself end where I started. I won't let myself finish where I began. I know what is within me, even if you can't see it yet. Look me in the eyes. I have something more important than courage. I have patience. I will become what I know I am.
So I want to tell you who I see in this room. I see, just from my last couple hours of being able to interact with you, I see world travelers, I see parents, I see students who have overcome adversity to get to where they're at today. I see students who are willing to do what's hard so that their life will be better off in the long run and not take the instant gratification, there we go, instant gratification that a lot of people go for, especially with our generation. I see students and people here today who are saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes in my life to make sure that me, my family, my children, my grandchildren never knew the life that I knew growing up. That's what I see in this room today. And I could talk about what I see all day long. All day long. But it doesn't really matter what I think. It really matters what you think about what you see in yourself. And one way that we can figure out who we are, one way to keep us on track with who our core character, what our core character is to do what we call a vision statement. And you see these big multinational corporations will have these corporate statements. A lot of times they're filled with flowery language and they don't make a whole lot of sense. But I like to keep my vision statement nice and concise and tight. I like to have a 3-word vision statement. And I'm going to encourage all of you right now, if you have a pen, you can pull it out. You can pull out your phone and type it into your phone. You can just remember it in the top of your head. It's only 3 words, for crying out loud. I want you to come up with a 3-word vision statement about you. It's who you see. If you don't like who you see right now, maybe it's who you want to be in the future. Maybe that's why you're on this road right now. Say, I don't like where I'm at right now, but I see where I'm going, and that's who I want to be. It can be bulleted. You could be like, you could say just 3 words: passionate, courageous, intelligent. Or it could be kind of like a statement, something like, I am powerful. It could be more of like a helping others daily. It could be something like that. This is your 3-word mission statement, or vision statement about you. So I want you guys to take just a few seconds right now and do it right now. See what you can come up with. And once you're done, go ahead and just turn and tell your neighbor and let them know what you came up with if you want to. Have you guys come up with some stuff? Anybody who's finished already want to share with the whole room what they came up with? Yes, ma'am, please.
Mine is family, faith, and future.
Family, faith, future. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. All right, somebody else? Anybody? Yes, please.
Greatness, God-fearing, and powerful.
Greatness, God-fearing, powerful. Wonderful.
Empower the world.
Empower the world. That's awesome. Who else? Yes.
Life-changing, motivating teacher.
Life-changing, motivating teacher. That's great.
Me versus one.
One more time.
Me versus one.
E versus one?
Me.
Oh, me versus one. Need. Need versus want. God, I have a hard time hearing. Need versus want. Anybody else?
Live to encourage.
Live to encourage. I don't know about you, but that just fires me up to hear that kind of stuff. I mean, it fires me up to hear what other people are doing with their life and what kind of goals and vision statements they put for themselves. I encourage you to write this down and keep it somewhere. This is who you are at your core. Figure that out. If you couldn't come up with your 3 words right now, figure it out. Spend some time thinking about it. You don't have to spend forever on it, but maybe you're sitting on the toilet and you're not doing anything else. You can take some time to think about, who am I? Who am I as a person? Write that down and put it somewhere to where you can see it. Maybe you put it on your mirror, your car dash, on your phone. Maybe you set it by the bed. It's something that you know, say, this is who I am and what I'm striving for. That's my vision statement. Now, that's us as individuals. But as a group, if we want to be successful, if we want to travel on and do great things in our life, we must all do the same thing. We must all be music makers, and we must all be dreamers of dreams. Check out this clip.
I'll show you this. Lick a wallpaper with those three walls. Lick an orange, it tastes like an orange. Lick a pineapple, it tastes like a pineapple. Go ahead, try it.
I got plums. Grandma's spaghetti is fantastic. It tastes so real.
Try some more. The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Snowberries. What about the snowberries?
We are the music makers. And we are the dreamers of dreams.
Now, that's a powerful quote. And I don't know if that describes your life, but I think that it describes all of us to some point. And it may not be, who's ever heard of a snozberry? You may not have that, but maybe this sounds a little bit more familiar. You're not going to be able to do it because I couldn't do it. Or, how are you going to graduate from college? You don't have any money and you're not smart enough. You're way too busy. You have kids. You have other things in your life. How many people hear stuff like that? We all do. From different sources. We have negative people in our life or negative things that come up, and maybe it even comes from us. We're saying, I don't think I can make it because no one that I know has ever gone as far as I'm going. I'm the trailblazer for my family. I'm that person that's stepping out and doing things that no one else has been able to do. And I may not be able to do it. And that's when you say, we are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. We are people who are going to step up and do great things. So you have that negative. You may not understand me or why I want to do what I do. But I know who I am. And I'm going to make it. So now we know who we are. And we know, hey, we got to figure out where we're going. And that's how we become the music makers and dreamers of dreams. And we do that first by dreaming dreams. So it might sound really just cliche to say, well, we're going to dream dreams. We're going to set goals. We're going to do these things. And I think that it's very important. I'm very goal-oriented. I know that Jesus and Scott and Justin are very goal-oriented. And they want this program to be goal-oriented. They want you to set goals and move on and dream dreams. And I'm going to help, hopefully, over the next few minutes, help facilitate you to dream dreams and widen that scope a little bit and then get really specific in what our dream is. And the best way, I think, to dream dreams is to come up with a bucket list. There we go. We'll get to that in a second. I'm a big believer in bucket lists. If you know me hardly at all, you know that I have a bucket list of about 150 items. And I'm wanting to do, they're as random as learning to juggle to as big as I want to go to all 7 continents. I'll shake hands with the president. There are all sorts of random things. But I think a good way to dream dreams is to come up with a bucket list. Who here has a bucket list? We've got a handful. Awesome. So I'm going to show you some bucket list items. And I want you to hold up a scale. This is 0 is there's no way in the world I would do that. 10 is like, I might as well already be on my bucket list or I've already checked it off, okay? So, item number 1, grow a beard, all right? 0 to 10, where's it at on your bucket list?
I'm in a struggle right now.
And you may not be able to get it yet, but somewhere 0, might be 5, 10. We got some zeros, all right? All right, we got some Scott's like, been there, done that.
Already done.
Check. I could try to grow facial hair for a couple weeks and not get there. All right, let's check this next one out. Run a marathon.
I've done that.
You've done it?
Yeah.
We got some 10s, we got 5, like that. We got some 0s.
Maybe walk a marathon.
Yeah, you can walk a marathon.
All right, walk.
26.2 miles. Next is learn to play the piano. Where's that on your list? I'm pretty low.
I'll learn in heaven.
I like those pants.
Yeah, those are nice pants. Wear those pants. How about that? Where you at? want a pair of pants like this. Where you at? 0 to 10.
Check walls.
Those are awesome pants. Some of you guys can pull those off. Skydive.
Oh, that's
Some people are like, nope, not at all. There are some people that's like, you couldn't pay them to. If God wanted me in the air, How about this one? Go to Antarctica. Where are we at? 0 to 10. 10 here. I'm going November 2014. You want to go with me? You can go.
the world's still here.
Yeah, no kidding. I will. I'll send you guys pictures that are like this. I'll send you pictures. So we have bucket lists because life is mundane. Life can be mundane. Life can be this routine. Tell me if this picture sounds familiar. Wake up, eat breakfast. For me, it's help get my daughter ready for the day. Go to work, go to class, come home. Maybe go to work. Come home, go eat dinner, and then go to sleep. Does that sound familiar? Watch a little couple hours of TV, go to sleep. Does that sound familiar? Anybody? Scott, does that ring true to you?
Yes.
Yeah, nap. Throw a nap in there from time to time. We create bucket lists because life can be a routine. Life can be mundane. And we dream dreams. One way to dream dreams is to do new things and try new things and have just small things, little things that we can do every day, not every day, but every once in a while, that get us out of our comfort zone, that challenge us a little bit to try something new, to do something we've always wanted to do, so that when we're about to kick the bucket, we're like, man, look at this life I've led. Look at these dreams I've dreamed. This is what I've done. It may be something silly, like I said, learn how to juggle. Is that going to help you out in the real world? That's going to be a clown? Probably not. But maybe you have kids and you're sitting at the house, and instead of watching TV with the kids, you all learn how to juggle and you make a memory. It just breaks it up a little bit. That's why we have a bucket list. That's why we dream dreams. Just saying, hey, I'm going to get out of Stillwater. I'm going to get out of Oklahoma. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change up my life a little bit. It may not be earth-shattering, life-changing events, but it could be. But it's just saying that we're going to do a little bit more. So next time, this next list, I want you to come up with 3 what I call educational or learning items for your bucket list. Now these are 3 things where you learn a new skill, or a trade or idea, like learning to juggle, or making a clay pot, or learning a foreign language, or some things that you're like, hey, I've always want to learn how to play the guitar, or I've always wanted to learn how to do this, or figure out how this worked, or anything like that. So see if you can come up with 3 of those. Anybody have any to share? Yes, go ahead.
Learn French and learn scuba.
All right, so 3 different. You got learn Greek and French. Learn how to scuba dive. Awesome. Yes, sir.
I want to learn how to sing, and I want to learn Spanish, and I want to learn how to sing some more. That's how you get on.
Sing?
Yeah, learn how to sing.
And learn how to sing in Spanish. Wonderful. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I want to learn Italian, learn how to cook different foods, and I want to learn how to surf.
Learn how to surf, cook foods, and learn Italian. That's wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
I want to be fluent in Spanish and Japanese. And I want to learn how to cook different foods.
Awesome.
I want to graduate college. I want to scuba dive. And I want to learn how to play the guitar.
Awesome.
I want to learn how to speak Spanish. I want to learn how to swim and longboard.
There we go. Okay. So see, we're doing something. We're dreaming dreams, and we're doing more. All right, the last 3. Do something personal. Right, 3 personal or family related. So personal might be I want to run a marathon. I want, ride a bike was a good example. Create a family tree, get married, have children. I want to be able to dunk a basketball, that kind of stuff. Yes.
I want to be able to raise my son effectively and financially. I want to be able to give my mother anything that she needs. And I want to be able to give anybody else that needs help anything that they need.
Church. There we go.
Church.
All right. Anybody else want to follow that up? Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have 3, but I want to create a memorial for my dad. And I want to create like a safe house just for like either kids or just like drug addicted families, like just like a safe haven, where they can either go and stay or just go and like just find a place.
Definitely. Yes.
I want to have kids to stay abroad, and I want to start up a youth help bridge.
That'd be awesome. Awesome. Anyone else want to share? Yeah, you're first.
Yeah, mine's totally not like this. I want to shoot a Tommy gun.
All right.
Start a charity and make my own shoe line.
Make your own shoe line. Cool.
Oh.
I want to start my own fashion line, do mission work, and then get married.
That's wonderful. See, these are cool things. This is why we dream dreams. This is why we create bucket lists. And it's not just because, hey, I want to do a couple things. It's because when we start doing things that are out of the routine, when we start living our list, we start living our bucket list, we are starting to accomplish dreams. We build confidence. We start experiencing things. We broaden our horizon, which is what brings me to what's really, really important for us to do, for all of us to do, is we must have very smart goals. These are goals that might scare us a little bit. Goals that are like, man, this is going to be tough, but it's totally going to be worth it. They call them big, hairy, audacious goals. I don't know if you guys have heard those before, but they're goals that scare you a little bit. And we need to have goals. So what I want us to do is we're going to come up with some goals, some smart goals. And here's how we're going to make smart goals. We are going to make them specific. So what I want you to do is write down your goal. It might be something that you shared off your bucket list, but this is your goal. It's your own personal goal. It's your goal. It's what you want to do. So no judging here. It's your goal. I want you to write down your goal. So go ahead and have several goals. But this is one goal. A really good example, I want to graduate from college. There's a goal. That's all. Most of you have that in common right now. I want to graduate from college. So if you're like, well, I can't really decide which one I want to pick, you can always pick that one. All right? Anybody want to share with me their goal?
I want to get my PhD in history.
PhD in history.
I want to make the basketball team.
Want to make the basketball team? Great.
I want to work on wind turbines.
Wind turbines. That's really cool. Anybody else?
Graduate grad school.
Graduate from grad school? Yes, sir.
Investment banker.
Be an investment banker? Awesome. All right, so those are goals. Here's what we're going to do. Right now, we're going to make our goal more specific. So whatever your goal is, make it more specific. Just break it down, make it even more specific. An example of that might be, if your goal is to graduate from college, but say, I want to graduate from Oklahoma State University. Boom, your goal just got better. All right, it's more specific. Because now you're going to say, my goal just changed from I want to graduate from college, but there's a lot of colleges. Say, I want to graduate from Oklahoma State University. So make your goal more specific. Let's do this. Let's make it more specific one more time. Break it down even further. Make it even more specific. So for our example that we used earlier is, I want to graduate from Oklahoma State University. Now you say, I want to get a bachelor's in organic chemistry from Oklahoma State University. Can you see how that is a better goal than I want to graduate from college? It's the same thing, pretty much, but it's much more specific, which makes our goals much more attainable. I've got a target. I've got something I'm shooting for now. Instead of saying I'm just going to graduate from college, like, boom, I'm going to graduate from Oklahoma State with a bachelor's in organic chemistry. Boom, you're right there.
I don't know how to narrow it down.
What is it?
You want
I just want to make straight A's.
You want to make straight
This semester.
this semester? Well, there you go. That's specific. You're there. You made it. Go ahead.
Graduate grad school from OSU with a 4.0.
There you go. They're specific. All right, so that's how we make goals. Next thing we need to do is make our goal measurable. Make our goal measurable. If your goal is to graduate from Oklahoma State with a degree in organic chemistry, is that measurable? It is, because you're either going to graduate or you're not going to graduate. So some of you might already have a measurable goal. I'll give you another example. Your goal might be to lose weight. That's an admirable goal. If you lost 0.01 pounds, did you hit your goal? Yeah, you did, because your goal is to lose weight. So we need to make it measurable. My goal is to lose 10 pounds. My goal is to lose 10 pounds. So that makes it measurable. So make sure that your goal that you have written down has something that you can measure against it. Anybody want to share their goal right now?
Oh, I got another goal.
All right, let's hear it.
I want to buy a car in cash, under $2,000.
Awesome. So that's specific and it's measurable. You either have the car or you don't have the car. You either spent less than 2,000 or more than 2,000. So it's a great goal. This is one reason why we share goals is because, you know, it's important. When we share goals, it's important for us to talk to each other about it so that we can help each other out. Next thing we're going to do is make sure our goal is attainable, which means can we do this or not? Now, I want us to be very realistic when we set goals. Let me give you an unrealistic goal. I really like the Dallas Cowboys. All right? I would love to play for the Dallas Cowboys. And if I made a specific and measurable goal, which would be, I want to be the starting quarterback for this Dallas Cowboys, that's not going to happen. It's not attainable.
Just like 5 wins.
Yeah, we can go out to the football field and over here, and I could throw you a pass, and you would realize really quickly that I am not going to be the next Tony Romo. Okay, so that's not attainable. So when we set goals, we need to always say we need them to be specific, we need them to be measurable, and we need to make sure we're setting goals that we can make. All right. The goals I've heard today they're all attainable goals. I haven't heard anyone say anything out there like, I want to jump on the sun, okay? So we haven't heard any goals like that. There are attainable goals, and you are the person who needs to know if they're attainable or not. We talked about earlier how there are going to be people who are going to try to tell you that your goal is not attainable. Don't listen to them. Listen to you. But have enough intrinsic, an idea of who you are. Know enough about yourself to know if you can do it or not. All right, so make sure that your goal is attainable. Next thing we're going to do is make sure our goal is relevant. And to do this, we're going to say, this is my goal. My goal is to get a 4.0 this semester. My goal is to graduate from, where did you say you want to graduate from here? With PhD in history. This is when you say, this is the why of the goal. You know what you're going to do. You know if you can do it. Now you say, why am I doing this? Are you doing it because you want to show your family that they can live out your dreams and you're doing it through your example? Are you doing it because you want to help others? Are you doing it because you want to help yourself? It's all okay. So this is your why. Whenever you're talking about your goals, I want you to list out, make it specific, measurable, make sure it's attainable. And I want you to say, is this relevant to me? Does this matter? Is this why am I doing this? And know why you're doing something. How many people know people who have goals and once they reach their goals, and maybe you've experienced it yourself, and you say, why did I do this again? I don't even know why I started this out in this direction. Or maybe you reach your goal and you don't know why you were doing it, and once you get there, you don't have anything to do with it. I mean, this is my goal is, it's not helping me out at all. So make sure that your goal is relevant. So right now, write down why this goal matters. We're not going to turn this into a Weight Watchers meeting, but I can speak for myself. I lost about 65 pounds. And it took a long time, and it took a lot of consistency and hard work. And I had to refresh my goals pretty consistently because I had an overall vision and place that I wanted to go, but man, I was having to create goals every day. I felt like Jesus would be like, man, turn down that donut. My goal today is to not eat that donut whenever I get here. My goal today is to go out and run whenever it's 105 degrees and I don't want to. That was my goal. So that's why we say the why here. If we move on, the last part of making your goal a SMART goal is to make it time bound. So we need to put an end point on all this so we know how long we've got to finish a goal. Now, a good goal is to lose weight. A better goal is to lose 10 pounds because the specifics, measurable, attainable, relevant. And the last thing we're going to say is we need to put a time on that. Do I need to lose 10 pounds by the end of the semester? By the end of the year? If my goal is to lose 10 pounds in 25 years, it depends on what your goal is. It's your goal, but you need to put an endpoint on it. So all of these goals need an endpoint. And it can change. One thing, your end goal can change if you come up and you're like, you know what? This is not attainable any longer. I'm not going to be able to do this SMART goal this semester. I thought I could do it this semester. It's not attainable. So you say, I'm going to move it back a semester. Not because I'm a slacker, but just because life happens and I needed to make my goal more smart. I can speak for my generation and the generation younger than me. I think that we've been told our whole life, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be. And I still believe in that 100%. But I think that a lot of people are not being told it takes a lot of hard work. Regardless of what you want to be, you are going to have to put some elbow grease into it. And that's what I tell my students. Hey, you know what? You want to be a biomedical engineer? That's really awesome. Do you know what it takes to do that? I don't have a clue. Well, let's sit down and talk about it. You're going to have to do really well in high school so that you get your school paid for in college. You're going to have to do well in college so you can go get a master's degree. Then you're going to have to get a PhD, which takes this long. And then you're going to have to, get studying. You're going to have to do apprenticeships and all this. You're going to have to be really specific. 15 years down the road, you can become a biomedical engineer. Do you know that? And if they know that, and they're in the know, then I'm like, yes, this is what it's going to take. And that's why I say, if you want to play in the NBA, there are people from Oklahoma that make it to the NBA. It happens. It happens from time to time. Not very often, but you say, these are statistics, this is what you have to do. And that's how I do it. We set SMART goals and we research them, and then we do that real research. And that's why we set goals, and that's why we put in the hard work. And the next thing that we do, the very next thing we do,
I live on a mountain and can yell really, really loud. Use that to your advantage.
if we want to achieve our goals, we need to be like that guy. All right? We need to tell everyone we know what our goal is. Statistics will tell you that if you write down your goal, if you share your goal, if you tell your friends, tell your family what your goal is, that you're way more likely to achieve it. Now, there are people in your life that you are very close to that do not know what your goal is. And you need to tell them. You need to sit down with your family, sit down with your friends and say, this is my goal, this is my SMART goal, this is why I'm doing it. I need your help. I want your encouragement, your support. I want you to do whatever it takes to help me achieve this. I'm going to put in the hard work, and I want you to hold me accountable. And that's what we do. If you don't tell anyone your goal, chances are good that if you fail, no one's going to hold you accountable. But if you tell everyone you know, I'm going to go to Antarctica by November 2014, by golly, you better go to Antarctica, because you're telling everybody you're going. That's your goal, you're going to do it. If your goal is, I'm going to be a teacher, and I want to be an educator, tell people what your goal is. Now, you can shout it from the mountaintop, and what I usually do is have two people come up and have a shout off, but I don't know if I'll do that today. Anybody want to share their goal, though, with the whole crew? I need one person. Go ahead.
I want to lose 50 pounds before I graduate.
It's awesome. What a great goal.
My family has a history of diabetes, and I don't want that.
Awesome. And so what we'll do here is that we share, because there are probably people in this room that want to help you, and there are people that want to help hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. We all want you to succeed. So when you share, we're like, hey, yeah, let's do it. Whatever it takes, we'll help you out.
Also with that, like, be prepared for people to be like, you can't do it.
Well, that's what we talked about
Stand up for
earlier.
yourself.
That's what we talked about earlier. You're going to have those people say snozberries. What are snozberries? And it's like, it doesn't matter. You may not get it. I get it. I get who I am. I've got it right here. I wrote it down. I know who I am. I know what I'm going to be. Next, if we're going to be successful, we got to know who we are. We got to know where we're going, and we got to make that music, which means we've got to do it. We have got to do it. First way to make music is to be like this guy.
tap the NPC to club up. That's what y'all do. Y'all live. Chris Kirk was on scene.
Alright, real quick, I want to be honest. He got stuck right there. I'd have stuck him right there. I'd have stuck him right there. I don't mind being happy about what he's going to do.
I hear what you're saying up there.
Yeah, one point.
What I want you to take away from this, the way we make music, the way we make our dreams happen, we know who we are, we know what our dreams are, we know where we want to go. The way to make it happen, we have to celebrate those small victories. This guy, he's not winning, right? He's not winning. He's getting demolished. All right. He's getting demolished. But he's celebrating those small victories. Obviously, we don't want to get in everybody's face. But what we want to do is say, you know what? I got up this morning and I made it to class. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's not my goal. That's not my goal. That's not my goal. It's not on my bucket list. It's not my dreams. But it's that step. I didn't want to be there. I had a lot of things on my plate. I made it there. That's what I'm talking about. Now, we all celebrate our small victories a little bit different. You can dance like this guy. You can say, you know, I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to go get some chocolate. Or you might say, you know what, I ran today and I did not want to. I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm going to pamper myself a little bit. You might say, I'm going to go call Scott and I'm going to tell him that how well I did on a test. You know what I'm saying? No one else cares. No one cares but me, really. But I'm going to celebrate it. You know, like, boom, I did this. Life was tough. People are telling me I can't do it, and I did it. Because the big times in your life, the big celebrations, chances are there will be people who celebrate with you. When you graduate college, when you get married, when you have children, when you get a job, there will be people who celebrate with you in that endeavor. It's those times where no one knows the struggle you had and the victory that you just had where you say, I'm going to celebrate. Now, I encourage you, I have a friend, so we don't want to come across as braggadocious or anything like that. I have a friend who I call my brag buddy. And when something good happens in my life, I can call him and I can just brag until I'm blue in the face and he completely understands. I'm getting it out of my system. I'm like, bam, I'm excited about it. And he does it back to me. He's my brag buddy, so find your brag buddy. But celebrate those small successes in life. Keep moving forward. And that's how we make music. And the last thing I want you to do, if you are going to make music, you need to behold the power of karaoke, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. Let me tell you what this means. Is that there are a lot of people in life who sit in the orchestra and wait for the conductor to start before they can start playing. They wait for someone to tell them that you can go. And when you know who you are and you know the dreams you're dreaming and the direction you want to go, you need to just step out and do it. There are a lot of people who say, I wish I could do this, or I want to do this, or I have this great goal, or I have this, and they don't take that first step. It's like they're waiting for a conductor to say, it's your turn. It's your turn. I want to tell you, in life, very few of us have conductors who say, go ahead, make it happen. I mean, we're on our own. We have a support system. We have a team. But if you graduate from college, do you know who gets the accolades? You do. You're the college graduate. You're the one that went to class. You're the one that took the test. Scott, Justin, Jesus, they helped you. You had teachers and professors who helped you. You had people along the way. But who's the college graduate? You are. You are. You're the ones that make it. If you get into a career, sure, people are going to help you out. But you're the person that makes it. And you have to behold the power of karaoke, which means we're going to do that right now. Okay? So, last thing, I got one thing I want to leave you with before we finish, is that whenever things get hard and people tell you can't do it, don't give up. And remember one thing from this speech. Anything. Say, I have a goal. I know who I am. I have a goal. I'm going to take action, and I'm not going to give up. When things get hard, don't give up. When you fail a test, don't give up. When you have to drop class, don't give up. When you have a tragedy in your family, don't give up. When someone turns their back on you and leaves you, don't give up. Don't ever, ever, ever give up. You have a dream, you have a goal, you know who you are, and you are the person that can make it happen. And that starts this semester. You have an opportunity to do whatever it is you want to do if you put in that hard work. And I've got a couple people that are going to agree with me.
We will fight! We will run! And we will live! Shame on you!
This could be the greatest night of our lives. You're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee you, we won't go by in your life. You won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of them.
Well, I'm not going home.
We've got too far! I'm here and fight for this lost cause. The day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day. The line must be drawn here. This farm, no farther.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you've ever worked before.
But that's fine, we'll just get tougher with it.
Pushing Chris's teeth and shows real determination.
Failure is not an option. That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say we can break this army here.
And win just one together.
But I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time, you've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you will fight to fulfill that promise. Let us cut out their living guts 1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do.
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions, like a big bear, man. This is your life. Seize the day. Never surrender. Victory or death. Who's with me?
Clap! Clap! Come at him, clap!
All right, let's fly. Gentlemen in England, now of it. You know, my name is the Lord. Tell Lauren that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our Independence
Thanks for letting me come speak and meet you guys today. I want you to let me know. You can get my information from these guys in the back. I want you to let me know what your goal is. I want to know when you guys accomplish it. I'm excited to see what future has for you guys. I mean, this is awesome. So thank you for letting me be a part of this today. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you again, guys, for joining us today. I hope you were able to receive a lot of good information. Hope that you guys got to meet one another. Of course, our program serves 140 students, so we constantly have a lot of students in our program. We try and customize our services to what your needs are. But in order for us to do that, you also need to let us know what your need is. So make sure you're always talking to your advisors. If you need help, beyond that, come see me. I'm always available. And guys, I know we're a little far away from campus. I know we're not where the OMA offices are or where the student union's at. We're all the way over there and basically next to the dorms, basically in a dorm. But we love to see faces. We love to see you guys out there. So whenever you have a chance, just swing by and say hi. And we definitely have all that space over there for you to study, so you don't have to compete with people in the library or compete with people. But guys, thank you again, and I hope to see you around this semester, and good luck, and best journeys as you continue on your educational path. Thank you.